Cardano, in a lot of ways, hasn't really been noted as a first mover. Smart contracts and all these other things have been done before. But something Cardano has done first is development in governance. And they are very much first movers in this sense. In today's video, I want to cover some of the drawbacks that have recently came up with this approach and why it is still a very good thing. So if you don't already know, Cardano has a treasury. In this treasury, if we scroll down here, there is over 1 billion ADA. Right now, that's $500 million in USD, but overall, this was worth a lot more at the peak of Cardano's price. If Cardano was to hit $10, this would be worth $10 billion. This treasury is used for a lot of things, but mainly right now, this treasury only goes down when we see things like catalyst funding rounds go through. These are basically where the community comes together, they vote on rounds using this 1 billion ADA, and there's a certain amount of ADA set aside for each round, for different categories. Your ADA is your vote, so how much ADA you have is the voting power you have, and then you vote for proposals. Those proposals that get voted the highest get funded. However much funds are asking for, that is up to them. Each category has a certain amount of funds total, and whichever ones get funded, they get actual ADA or worth US dollars, and they get it to help them develop their project. This is really great. This is a decentralized way of putting funds to the community to help develop Cardano. It's amazing, it's wonderful, but it is not perfect. Cardano has the first mover in this. I don't really see any other blockchains doing this. This is a massive step in the right direction, but there is some holes, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Daedalus Turbo. This is a proposal for about $1 million or 780,000, so about $750,000, which it's a lot of text. There's a lot in this proposal, right? But essentially what it's trying to do, as you can see here at the top, 10 times quicker sync for Daedalus. So this is cool. It's a good idea, but is it worth $800,000? I am not sure, especially when we have things that are basically this and are working to be this but better, like Mithril, light client with full node capabilities, basically bootstrapping the entire Cardano node, already in the works, already in progress, and already almost complete. Why did this get passed? And also something to note, a comment, with $800,000 nearly, this person is pretty much working by themselves, and they may bring in their teams for critical parts. So it's kind of sketchy. It's a weird proposal, and we're going to go look a little bit deeper into what this is, or rather what's going on here, because as you can see, this proposal has 2,000 wallets voting for it and a total of almost 300 million ADA voting for the yes on this proposal. Now, I know it sounds really good. A lot of people might just see this and they're not very knowledgeable technically, and they say, hey, 10x quicker sync on Daedalus. My Daedalus takes forever. Vote for that. Little do they realize this is already being done in full node capacity with Mithril and a light node, and you get light node wallet, full node capacity. It's really good. But this is funded for $759,000, which is 6% of the total Catalyst budget, if I recall correctly. And that's a lot. That is a lot, right? As you can see here, we have votes yes, 299,000, and votes no, 235 million, not thousand, sorry. So a ton of votes no. Obviously, a ton of people did not want this to pass, but yet it still had a net voting result of 63 million positive ADA voting for it, so it got funded. Charles Hoskinson has made a video on this topic. If you want to check it out, I'm going to leave it linked down in the description. But I also want to dive deeper into the fundamental problems of Catalyst and why it is a problem and it needs to be addressed, and we need to come up with solutions. Not that I have all the answers myself, but just in general why Catalyst is not perfect and Cardano has the first mover advantage in this, being that this is a decentralized mechanism. There's no one going to come in and stop this. IOHK technically maybe could because they have the keys to the treasury, I believe. Not 100% on that, but they could, but I don't think they should. I think in a decentralized fashion, this gets through and we learn a lesson from it. We fix the holes in the system and we move forward to a better Catalyst round next round. We also have a mini thread from Suraj. He makes a bunch of great threads talking about Daedalus Turbo is actually infeasible in the current state and it has gotten funded. The step involved in Project Catalyst to prevent such an event is the proposal finalizing stage. This is where veteran proposal assessors, or VPAs, give green lights to proposals to go into the voting stage to actually make it to the public view to be voted upon. Daedalus Turbo got funded. This is 6% of the total Catalyst budget. And this is to a team and person with no experience in blockchain development. So when things in the matter of blockchain are here, we want them to be secure, private, and we want our keys to be safe. Is this going to be something that can do all that? And can you trust one developer or team? That's up to you, but it's also up to their experience and how competent they are. Even after the Cardano community has red flagged this proposal way before the voting stage through informal channels like YouTube videos, if you scroll way down here, and different things like spaces, it still got put into the voting round. And in general, the lack of accountability and technical knowledge of the current VPAs result in this proposal getting funded. I agree with Suraj here. IOHK getting involved in the post-voting process and taking this out is not the solution. We need a process that ensures stricter quality assurance and technical feasibility of the proposals, if they're actually possible, if they're going to get done, and if we need them, they cross into a certain monetary threshold. So if they're above a certain amount, they should probably get some double checking, because if there's a lot of money going out here, that's money that other projects who really could use the funds, even if it's only 20 to 50,000 a Cardano or dollars, that is a large amount for a lot of proposals and would keep them running off the ground. Things that are running right now for free or technically not in profit, like Typha Wallet or other things, need this money, and I don't want to see it go somewhere that it could have went to a better place. So people are saying this is decentralization, and honestly, it is decentralization, but this is an example of how decentralized systems have flaws, and this is a loss in terms of our decentralized system that we're running on right now. So it needs to be better. Charles didn't really talk too much in his video about the process that resulted in this infeasible proposal getting the fund. So not too much more to say on that from his point of view. But if you want to watch the video, I linked in the description. We need a process that ensures strict quality control. That's not really here right now. And in general, there's a lot of people making fun or poking criticism at this event because it is a large event that needs to be addressed, and we do not want this happening again. $700,000 could have went to a bunch of dApps that did not get funded and tools that have been building pretty much with nothing in their pockets for a long time now. So that is something to worry about. Perpetual money machine, borrow 200 million ADA, vote in Catalyst for your own proposals, downvote everything else, pay back the loan, bro down. And then eventually you have enough money where you don't need to take a loan if you repeat this enough. And that's just not the great part of it. Like I mentioned earlier, we have something in the works called Cardano Mithril, so you can bootstrap a Cardano node if needed. This is as turbo as it gets pretty much. So Daedalus runs on a full Cardano node, and it's wrapped in a UI. It's super slow to sync because it's a full node. A bootstrap node wrapped up into a light client is going to be way faster than 10x sync times. So just think about that. There's a lot of people all over Twitter talking about Daedalus Turbo and this proposal because it's not something that really should have gotten through the pre-voting stage, especially for so much funds. So this is an eye-opener in general for Cardano's first mover approach in decentralized governance and ways to build community funds up that aren't necessarily just through one voter approval, say this is good to go, but more stricter processes on things that cost the ecosystem a lot of money. Overall, my viewpoint on this is I wish that this money went to other projects who were more active in development, have products already built, have things to show that they weren't paid for. That would have been great, but that didn't happen. Ultimately, I think the next steps forward are to ensure stricter voting processes or stricter processes on higher funding proposals to get into the voting round. That is a great addition. I think we should add that. There is going to be a lot more solutions for other problems that arise because that's not going to fix everything. There's always going to be faulty proposals or people botting systems. So we need ways around those too. But in general, the first thing I want to add is that what Suraj said and what I agree on is that higher assurance for these really high funded things, maybe over a certain threshold above 100,000, in which case people might just say, hey, let's just put it to 99,999. So having conditional things for when proposals should be extra looked into, especially so if in previous rounds they haven't had proposals or they don't have a working product, making sure the people who are assuring this quality are looking into those things too and have knowledge on some technical space would be really good. We do have DREPs coming, so that will help a lot for where voting is coming from. But ultimately right now, if someone has over 200 million ADA in their pocket to vote yes for themselves, if they get into the voting stage, nothing is really going to stop them from getting their funding. All right, that's it for the video today. Overall, I'm very excited for everything Cardano related. This isn't the end of the world, but it is something that we need to improve upon and build upon. It's not like we lost hundreds of millions of users' funds. We just had one proposal go through that could have been a lot better and probably we definitely didn't need it. But overall, things are okay. We're going to be fine. In general, I just wanted to make everyone aware of this, what the problems are, and also get ready to vote in the next round and participate. Look into different things and see proposals like this ahead of time, and maybe you can even help flag them down. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been your friend Jack. Peace out.